see all that. Antifreeze. Even down there on the fender. And there's some in the floorboard inside too. That radiator has got a leak. It's right in there someplace.
Yeah, it's the same leak.
Yeah, it's actually a little worse now.
But it's leaking because I just got to go for a ride for the first time since he got the rear end done. And I'm gonna tell you, it's 1,000 times better than it was. The ride is so much smoother. It doesn't feel like it's screaming at 55. It kind of rides smooth down the road. So I'm a little impressed.
And we'll go over that. All right, guys, so we have a 1968 International Loadstar that, yes, does leak some antifreeze, and I just noticed the inside lip of my bumper is green with antifreeze. It's everywhere. The leak's actually a little worse than it used to be because we tried to fix it, but you'll have that. What we did do that made a huge difference before we go back to the back is if you watch our social media, something to note, it was running on 7 cylinders before. Now it's using all 8. We straightened a push rod for the intake valve. The intake valve was stuck. I had some Facebook Live videos running, and you actually got to see this thing on the road a little bit in Facebook Live after we got that push rod straightened out. So if you're not following our social media, there's some stuff that happens there that doesn't happen here. So now let's go to the back where everybody's interested in. It does have the 4 links. It does have the Panhard bar. If you want to see more about how that all came to be, the videos of them are posted up. We did not talk about the airbags much, but now that I have them piped in, they do not share air from side to side. They do share air front to back. So this side's isolated by itself and this side's isolated by itself. And the reason for that is because you're going around a corner, you don't want all the air to go to one side or the other. And as far as the front to back, the 4 links actually will control the axle movement. So that right there will actually, they will help carry each other, and it won't really affect the axle twist because the 4 link does that job. And then something else is this right here. You see this bar right here. That is a anti-sway bar off of a 1997 1-ton pickup truck. And it's off the front. And it is upside down. And you see my link right there. We are a little close to the inside of the rim, but the thought process is that if it ever becomes an issue or we think it might be getting close to rubbing the rim or anything like that, I can shorten that bolt and that sleeve, get me a different bolt right there, and that will bring it closer away from the edge of the rim. Give you an idea how close that is. It's not too bad, and as it articulates up, it actually moves away from it, so not too bad of a deal. Something that you might be interested to know is, and as Adam found out a moment ago, she's a bit of a dog in 4th gear.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's flying apart, but it also doesn't feel like it has a lot of power either. So
it's almost like you can hit the throttle and you can hear the carburetor go sucking fuel and not going nowhere.
But that's what this is.
So the next thing to note is as you know, that motor is not staying in the truck. We're actually planning to change out the motor and transmission. But the next thing to note is you can see the difference in height between those 2 tires. This tire right here is about 41 inches tall, 42 inches tall. It is your what, 11R, where's it at on there? I know it's on the other. It's like an 11R22. It's basically your standard semi tire.
Right there, 11R22.5.
Yeah, 11R22.5. And then this right here is a 255 70R 22.5, which is what they run on a lot of carry axles, a lot of car haulers. These are the tires that I will be running on this truck. This is one some guys down the road from where I live gave me. It's got some flat spots. It's wore out. It was on the carry axle of a dump truck, but it allowed me to kind of have an idea of what I'm going to be doing, and that right there will change how it even is geared right now, just because the diameter of the tire changing. But the brake switch works. The light, we put a little bit nicer light. You know, you've seen the wooden garbage we had on there before. but with the rusted frame and everything, and after I painted it all and went to try and get it back on the road, I couldn't bring myself to put that wooden busted up garbage back on there. So I bought a new set of lights and took me a piece of angle iron and mounted them to where they look kind of nice for now. Long-term goal of this truck is going to be to have either a flatbed. I'd like to do like a 12 or 14 foot flat with a dovetail, something like that. You will never see the Z-cut in the frame when it's all said and done, because I want to have smooth bed sides with toolboxes. So that's mainly just so I can get our height down some. And hey, here, Adam, we'll take that for a second. Throw this down here. So this, I'm gonna let all the air out of the bags, so you can kind of see how low it goes. Right now I don't have an air management system. Here, before I do this, I just got 2 Schrader valves right here that I can put air in the 2 different sides. My plan is to have an air tank and solenoid valves and be able to control everything from the cab. Not there yet, but we'll be getting there. This is just kind of, these pieces are mock-up, and I'll take them out later. So I'm gonna go ahead and let air out of these. If you want to go back to a side view, see, kind of watch it drop. And when I get these solenoid valves up and drop a lot faster too, I'll have a 3/8 dump.
Kind of a slow process, but
well, it's leaking out Schrader valves, you know.
yeah. Let me get over here a little bit.
So that is pretty much bottom right there. And keep in mind, that's also going to change because these smaller diameter tires, that will be about 2 inches lower than what it is now. And of course, then we'll hopefully later on be able to lower the front end of the truck too, because the plans are, and for those of you want to know what's coming next, I'll give you a little sneak peek. We'll go over here to the pieces and parts pile. Here, keep everything back behind Dad's bus. Yeah, there's the old axle. There's a piece of the frame that we cut off of the Freightliner that we ain't junked yet, that we probably should have the other day. And there's an old Mercedes motor that pull parts off of. Oh, what's this? That is the front end that the anti-sway bar came off of. That's out of a 97 one-ton Chevy. I have extenders. I got the one extender on this side, the other one's in there on the shelf. And I will be taking this A-arm suspension and converting it over to work with that truck. We're going to widen it and remove these coil springs and put airbags on the truck. That's the plan, is the airbag independent front suspension in the front with power steering, and I still have the intercooler off the Freightliner, so going to try and use that intercooler. We'll see what happens. But there we go. If you guys haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll know when more videos come out and you can see some more of this happen. And Adam will be able to edit more videos. Look at me do stupid stuff that probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And then we can get that truck on the road and maybe make a few events next year if the COVID ever straightens up.
We'll see.
So, hey guys, thanks. Appreciate it. And go get you a project start. They're fun.
We'll see you next time.